At the bottom of our planet lies a land that does not behave like Earth. A continent where time slows, sound disappears, and life struggles to exist. Here, 6 months the sun never rises. 6 months it never sets. No cities, no countries, no governments, no permanent humans, only ice. This is Antarctica, the coldest, driest, windiest, and most isolated place on Earth. And yet, this silent, frozen desert controls the climate of the entire planet. If Antarctica changes, Earth changes. If Antarctica dies, civilization follows. But Antarctica was not always frozen. 160 million years ago, Earth looked completely different. All continents were fused together into one supercontinent, Gondwana. Antarctica did not exist as a polar wasteland. It was near the equator. Forests grew here. Rivers flowed. Animals walked across land that today sits under kilometers of ice. Then tectonic plates began drifting, slowly, over millions of years. Antarctica moved south. The sunlight weakened. Temperatures dropped. Snow stopped melting. Ice began accumulating, not for centuries, not for thousands of years, for millions. Eventually, the entire continent buried itself beneath frozen water, creating the largest ice mass on Earth. For most of human history, Antarctica did not exist in reality, only in imagination. Ancient Greek explorers discovered land in the north, the Arctic. They believed Earth must remain balanced. If a frozen land existed in the north, one must exist in the south. They called this hypothetical land Anti-Arctos, opposite to the Arctic. For centuries, maps showed it, but nobody had seen it, not until 1820. Russian explorer Fabian von Bellingshausen became the first human to officially sight the Antarctic continent. Strangely, humans discovered the planet Uranus in 1781, but discovered a continent on their own planet 39 years later. Antarctica today is the 5th largest continent on Earth. Area, about 14.2 million square kilometers. But size is not what makes it extraordinary. What makes Antarctica terrifying is what it contains. 90% of all ice on Earth, about 70% of the world's fresh water. Ice thickness reaching nearly 4 kilometers. In some regions, it has not snowed or rained for 2 million years. This makes Antarctica technically the largest desert on the planet. Winds here reach 300 km/h. Temperatures drop below 89 degrees, colder than Mars on some days. Because of Earth's tilt, Antarctica experiences a phenomenon no other populated place does. From late September to March, continuous daylight. The sun circles the sky without setting. From late March to September, complete darkness. No sunrise for half a year. Humans lose sense of time here. Sleep cycles collapse. Psychological stress becomes extreme. Antarctica is not just physically hostile, it attacks the human mind. No forests exist here, no bushes, no grasslands, yet life survives. Penguins, seals, marine birds. Fish swim in water cold enough to freeze blood, yet they live because their bodies contain antifreeze proteins. Even stranger, there is a waterfall that looks like it is bleeding. For decades, scientists were confused by a red liquid flowing from ice cliffs. It looked like blood. People believed microbes, minerals, even unknown organisms. In 2017, the mystery was solved. Beneath the glacier exists a saltwater lake trapped for millions of years. The water contains iron. When it reaches air, oxidation turns it red. Antarctica was literally bleeding rust. And this revealed something shocking. There are over 300 hidden lakes beneath the ice, isolated from the world for millions of years. Life there evolved completely separately from the rest of Earth. Beneath Antarctica lies massive mineral wealth: gold, silver, copper, coal, uranium, platinum, chromium, which created a problem. Countries began claiming Antarctica: Britain, France, Norway, Australia, New Zealand, Chile, Argentina. One country went further. Argentina sent a pregnant woman to Antarctica so her child would be born there, attempting to claim the land. In 1978, Emilio Palma became the first human born on Antarctica. The world refused the claim, and humanity realized something dangerous. If nations fought over Antarctica, a global war would begin. So they signed a treaty. The Antarctic Treaty declared, no country owns Antarctica. No military allowed, no nuclear testing, no waste dumping, only scientific research permitted. Today, about 30 countries operate research stations there. Thousands visit each year, but nobody permanently lives there. Antarctica belongs to science, not politics. Antarctica is the only place on Earth where going there can require surgery, even if you are healthy. Long-term researchers are often advised to remove appendix, wisdom teeth, Not because they are sick, because Antarctica has almost no emergency medical evacuation. The nearest advanced hospital may be over 1,000 kilometers away, across violent oceans and impossible weather. If appendicitis happens during winter, rescue is impossible. You are alone. So scientists eliminate future risks before arriving. The continent forces humans to adapt, even before stepping onto it. In 1961, a Soviet doctor stationed in Antarctica developed acute appendicitis. There was no surgeon. No evacuation aircraft could land. No outside help. He understood the reality: either operate or die. Using local anesthesia, a mirror, and assistants holding instruments, he performed surgery on himself for nearly 2 hours and survived. Antarctica does not forgive mistakes. It forces human beings to become their own rescue. Antarctic research stations are strange places. They have dormitories, gyms, internet, bars, post offices, hospitals, even ATMs and churches. Yet they have no government, no official time zone. Each station follows the time of its home country, meaning in one place noon may exist beside midnight. Because Antarctica is not a nation, it is a temporary human presence inside a non-human world. Researchers here are not studying Antarctica. They are studying Earth's past. They drill deep into the ice, sometimes kilometers down. Every layer of ice is a frozen year of history. Volcanic eruptions, ancient atmosphere, temperature cycles, mass extinctions. The deeper they drill, the further back in time they go. Ice cores allow scientists to read climate conditions from hundreds of thousands of years ago, like pages of a planetary diary. Antarctica stores Earth's memory. Antarctica does more than exist. It regulates Earth. Its white surface reflects sunlight back into space. This prevents our planet from overheating. Cold air flows outward from the continent, stabilizing global weather patterns. Ocean currents begin here and travel across the entire world. Without Antarctica, Earth's climate would spiral into chaos. It is not just a continent, it is Earth's cooling system, but the system is failing. Human activity releases greenhouse gases. Heat becomes trapped in the atmosphere. Antarctica is warming. In the last 25 years alone, approximately 3 trillion tons of ice have melted. Each year, about 241 billion tons vanish. That equals roughly 3 Olympic swimming pools of ice melting every second. Not every day, every second. If all Antarctic ice melted completely, global sea levels would rise about 60 meters, nearly 200 feet. Entire countries would disappear. Major cities would drown. New York, London, Tokyo, Mumbai, Shanghai. Civilization exists because Antarctica remains frozen. Our coastlines depend on its survival. In 2000, a massive iceberg broke free, known as B-15. Length, nearly 295 kilometers. Wider than many countries. It was larger than Jamaica. This was not just ice breaking. It was Antarctica signaling instability. Large ice shelves are collapsing faster than predicted, and scientists now believe some melting is irreversible. Below Antarctica lies unknown biology, dark ecosystems sealed off for millions of years. Microorganisms adapted to zero sunlight and crushing pressure. Studying them may help humanity understand life on Europa, life on Mars, life beyond Earth. Antarctica is not just Earth's past. It may be humanity's guide to extraterrestrial life. Antarctica protects all species on Earth. Nearly 8.7 million life forms share this planet. Yet humans alter the atmosphere faster than natural systems can adjust. If the white shield weakens, every ecosystem changes. The future of Earth is connected to a place most humans will never see. From space, Antarctica looks flat, a smooth white shield at the bottom of Earth. But beneath the ice lies another continent. Hidden under kilometers of frozen layers are massive mountain ranges, deep valleys, canyons larger than the Grand Canyon, entire landscapes untouched for millions of years. Scientists discovered that Antarctica is not a single block of land. It is a complex continent buried alive under ice. If the ice vanished, Earth would reveal a completely unfamiliar map. One of the greatest discoveries shocked geologists. Deep beneath the ice lies the Gomburtsev mountain range, a mountain system as large as the European Alps. Peaks rise thousands of meters high, yet no human has ever seen them directly. They are perfectly preserved, not eroded by wind, water, or life, because ice sealed them for over 30 million years. Antarctica is the only place on Earth where mountains exist untouched by time. Water flows under Antarctica, not frozen water, liquid water. Under immense pressure, deep lakes and rivers exist beneath kilometers of ice. Over 300 subglacial lakes have been detected. One of them, Lake Vostok, has been isolated from the atmosphere for millions of years. No sunlight, no oxygen exchange, no surface life. Yet scientists believe microorganisms survive there. Life, evolving in total darkness. In Antarctica's dry valleys, a strange sight appears, a waterfall flowing red like blood. For decades, explorers thought it was algae or unknown organisms, but the truth was stranger. The water comes from an iron-rich subglacial lake. When the iron contacts oxygen, it rusts, turning the water crimson, a natural chemical reaction, hidden beneath ice for ages. Antarctica hides chemistry that looks like horror. Antarctica is not only frozen, it is geologically alive. More than 90 volcanoes exist beneath the ice sheet. Some are active. Heat from these volcanoes melts ice from below, creating hidden water systems and accelerating glacier movement. So while the top freezes, the bottom burns. The continent is a paradox. Ice above, fire below. Antarctica is constantly reshaping itself. During winter, surrounding ocean water freezes, doubling the continent's apparent size. In summer, the ice melts and retreats. It breathes. Scientists call it a dynamic continent because its boundaries change every year. The map you see today is not permanent. Wind speeds here can exceed 300 km/h. Cold, dense air rushes downhill from the polar plateau, forming katabatic winds, some of the most powerful on the planet. These winds can push humans off their feet and reshape snow into sharp ice formations. Antarctica is not quiet. It is violently alive. Antarctica is technically the world's largest desert. Some valleys have received no rain or snowfall for nearly 2 million years. The air holds almost no moisture. Snow falls in coastal regions, but deep inland, the continent is colder and drier than the Sahara. Ice does not mean wet. Here, ice means preserved emptiness. No polar bears live here. They exist only in the Arctic. Instead, Antarctica belongs to penguins, seals, marine birds, cold-adapted fish. Some fish contain antifreeze proteins in their blood, preventing freezing in sub-zero water. Life here rewrites biology. Because Earth tilts on its axis, Antarctica experiences extreme seasons. For 6 months, continuous daylight. For 6 months, total darkness. During winter, the sun never rises. The sky becomes a permanent night, illuminated only by stars and auroras. Humans lose normal sense of time. The continent operates outside the rhythm of Earth. When Antarctica was officially confirmed in the early 19th century, curiosity quickly turned into ambition. Countries began to see opportunity. Under the ice were gold, silver, copper, coal, uranium, platinum, chromium, magnesium, and possibly oil and natural gas offshore. The continent was empty. No native population, no government, which meant anyone could claim it, and many tried. Over time, several countries made territorial claims. United Kingdom, France, Norway, Australia, New Zealand, Chile, Argentina. Each nation carved out pie-shaped sectors of Antarctica, drawing imaginary lines toward the South Pole. But these claims overlapped. Chile and Argentina even disputed British territory. Tension was rising. The last untouched continent was becoming a silent geopolitical battlefield. Argentina made one of the boldest moves in history. In 1978, they sent a woman who was 7 months pregnant to Antarctica. Her name was Silvia Morella de Palma. The goal? To give birth there. If her child was born in Antarctica, Argentina could claim that a native citizen had been born on their territory. On January 7, 1978, Emilio Palma became the first person born on Antarctica. Argentina argued that this strengthened their territorial claim, but the international community did not accept it. A baby could not decide the fate of a continent. By the 1950s, global tension was rising. The Cold War had begun. The United States and Soviet Union were powerful rivals. If Antarctica became militarized, it could become a strategic war zone. To prevent this, 12 countries came together. In 1959, they signed the Antarctic Treaty. This changed everything. The Antarctic Treaty declared, no country owns Antarctica. Military activity is banned. No nuclear weapon testing. No radioactive waste dumping. Only peaceful scientific research allowed. Antarctica became the only continent dedicated entirely to science. It is one of the most successful international agreements in human history. Even during intense global conflicts, the treaty has remained intact. Antarctica has no president, no prime minister, no parliament, no official time zone, no permanent population. Around 4,000 researchers live there during summer. During winter, that number drops to about 1,000. They stay in research stations operated by different countries, but no one owns the land. It belongs to science. Modern Antarctic research stations include dormitories, dining halls, medical units, gyms, internet, post offices, bars, even ATMs. There are 7 churches on the continent. India operates 3 research stations: Dakshin Gangotri, Maitri, Parati. More than 30 countries operate around 80 research bases combined. Each year, thousands of scientists conduct experiments in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. One unusual requirement exists for long-term researchers. Before traveling, many are advised to remove appendix, wisdom teeth. Why? Because if appendicitis or severe dental pain develops during winter, evacuation is nearly impossible. The nearest advanced hospitals are thousands of kilometers away. In 1961, a Soviet doctor named Leonid Rogozov developed appendicitis while stationed in Antarctica. There was no surgeon available, so he performed surgery on himself. Using local anesthesia, a mirror, and basic instruments, he removed his own appendix successfully. Antarctica demands extreme preparation. Scientists drill deep into the ice to extract ice cores. Each layer of ice is like a time capsule. Air bubbles trapped inside contain ancient atmosphere samples. By studying them, scientists reconstruct past climate, volcanic eruptions, greenhouse gas levels, Earth's temperature history. Drilling deeper means traveling further back in time. Some ice cores reveal information from over 800,000 years ago. Antarctica stores Earth's climate memory. Antarctica, Earth's white shield. The continent's white surface reflects solar radiation back into space. This reflection is called the albedo effect. It cools the planet. Antarctica acts as Earth's natural freezer. Cold winds generated there influence global ocean currents and weather systems. It stabilizes climate worldwide. If Antarctica changes, the entire planet changes. For millions of years, Antarctica remained stable, frozen, silent, untouched. But in the last century, something unprecedented began to happen. The planet started warming, not slowly, not naturally, but rapidly. Human industry released enormous amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This gas traps heat that would normally escape into space. The result, Earth's temperature rises, and Antarctica, the coldest place on Earth, started reacting, because even the strongest ice cannot resist constant warming. Satellite measurements show that Antarctica is losing ice at a shocking speed. In just the last 25 years, the continent has lost more than 3 trillion tons of ice. Every year, around 241 billion tons melt away. To understand this scale, every second, Antarctica loses ice equal to 3 Olympic swimming pools. Every minute, a city-sized block disappears into the ocean. This is no longer a slow geological process. This is a rapid planetary transformation. All that melted ice goes somewhere, into the oceans, and oceans rise. If the entire Antarctic ice sheet melted, global sea levels would rise about 60 meters, 200 feet. Most coastal cities would vanish. New York, London, Tokyo, Shanghai, Mumbai, Sydney. Entire countries would disappear underwater. Even partial melting is dangerous. By 2100, sea levels may rise about 1 meter. By 2500, possibly 15 meters. Civilization was built near water. Now water is coming back. In the year 2000, scientists witnessed one of the largest ice breakups ever recorded. An iceberg called B-15 separated from Antarctica. Length, 295 kilometers. Width, 37 kilometers. It was larger than the country of Jamaica. Slowly, it drifted into the Atlantic Ocean and melted. These events are increasing. Ice shelves, the floating walls holding back glaciers, are collapsing. When they disappear, inland glaciers accelerate toward the sea. Like removing a dam from a river, melting creates a dangerous chain reaction. White ice reflects sunlight. Dark ocean absorbs sunlight. So when ice melts, the ocean warms faster. Warmer ocean melts more ice. More melting creates more warming. This is called a positive feedback loop, and Antarctica is entering it. Once started, it becomes extremely difficult to stop. Antarctica controls global weather. Cold Antarctic water sinks and drives global ocean circulation. This system distributes heat across the planet. If disrupted, monsoons shift, storms intensify, drought regions expand. Agriculture collapses in some areas. Antarctica is not isolated. It is the thermostat of Earth. Nearly 8.7 million species live on Earth. Every ecosystem depends on stable climate patterns. Rapid change means food chains shift. Habitats disappear. Migration patterns fail. Penguins lose breeding grounds. Krill populations decline, affecting whales and fish. Ocean ecosystems destabilize. When Antarctica changes, oceans change, and oceans sustain most life on this planet. For the first time in Earth's history, one species controls the climate. Human activity determines whether Antarctica remains frozen or collapses. Industrial emissions, deforestation, fossil fuel combustion, all influence its future. Antarctica's fate is no longer geological. It is human. Antarctica protects Earth by cooling it. It is often called the planet's air conditioner, Earth's freezer, the white shield. But shields can weaken, and when they do, consequences spread everywhere. Human civilization depends on something most people will never see, a silent continent at the bottom of the world. For centuries, Antarctica existed beyond human influence, too cold to conquer, too distant to exploit, too hostile to settle. But now, for the first time in history, the future of an entire continent depends on human choices made thousands of kilometers away. Factories, vehicles, power plants, cities, none of them exist in Antarctica. Yet all of them are changing Antarctica. The continent has become a mirror. It reflects what humanity is doing to Earth. Scientists working in Antarctic stations rarely panic. Their profession is patience, measurement, and evidence. But their observations over the last decades have been consistent and clear. Ice shelves thinning faster than predicted, glaciers accelerating toward the sea, ocean temperatures rising beneath the ice, weather patterns becoming unstable. The most concerning discovery: melting is happening from below, not just above. Warm ocean currents are reaching the underside of massive glaciers, meaning even cold air cannot fully stop the process. Some Antarctic regions may already have crossed a tipping point. This means, even if the planet stopped warming today, the melting would continue for centuries. Not because the surface is warm, but because the system's balance has shifted. Large ice sheets behave like slow dominoes. Once movement begins, gravity does the rest. Human time and geological time have collided. Humanity now faces a choice, not whether Antarctica changes, but how much. Modern science is attempting solutions: cleaner energy systems, carbon capture technology, satellite monitoring of ice, global climate agreements. The goal is simple: slow the warming enough for ice to stabilize. Antarctica cannot be repaired quickly, it can only be protected slowly. Many people believe Antarctica is distant and irrelevant, but almost every coastline, economy, and ecosystem depends on its stability. Food supply depends on climate cycles. Fresh water depends on glaciers worldwide. Weather depends on ocean currents. Antarctica controls all three indirectly. It is not just a frozen desert. It is infrastructure for the planet itself. Unlike cities, Antarctica gives no warnings humans naturally understand. No earthquakes, no explosions, no visible collapse. Its changes are quiet, measured in millimeters of sea rise, fractions of temperature, and slow-moving ice. But quiet changes at planetary scale are the most dangerous, because they continue long before people react. No country owns Antarctica, and that makes it unique. It belongs equally to every human, present and future. No borders, no armies, no permanent population, only science and responsibility. Humanity rarely shares land peacefully, yet the most important land on Earth is the one nobody owns. If warming slows, Antarctica will remain mostly frozen, stabilizing oceans and climate. If warming accelerates, coastlines will reshape, migration will increase, and global systems will adapt under pressure. Neither future is instant, but both are inevitable outcomes of present actions. Antarctica is not deciding its fate. Human civilization is deciding it. At the bottom of the world lies a continent larger than Europe, covered in ice older than human history. It holds most of Earth's fresh water. It regulates the global temperature. It preserves the climate balance that allowed civilization to exist, and it does all of this silently. The survival of modern society is connected to a place almost no one will ever visit. The most remote land on Earth has become the most important. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content.